On today's Hashi, I'm discussing home buyer recession fears, April foreclosure activity by state, and mortgage application data for the last week. Today is Wednesday, May 21, 2025. I am Byron Lazine, and the Hashi starts now. Live from Naples, Florida, Nate Riggs. It's hot here too. It sounds like it's pretty hot in Duval, but it's just as hot here, maybe hotter because we're about 5 hours south. So it's a hot one here, Naples, Florida. Let me know where you are, wherever you may be in the live chat. Let's make some connections there. Obviously, for real estate professionals, connections is the game. So make some connections in the live chat. Hey, what else is in the game would be 3:30 Eastern time. Remember EA Sports? It's in the game. I want you in the game, which means I want you to join myself, Chris Benjamin, Sheila from Mosaic is going to be a part of this. The secret to winning every buyer. It's the best buyer presentation. I don't know very many agents that present and have creativity around their presentations like Chris Benjamin. So we're going to be going through it today, 3:30 Eastern time, 12:30 West Coast. It's a public webinar. So whether you're a BAMX member or not, you get access to this one. 3:30 psychology behind what buyers really want. The pre-approval funding strategy. Do you have a strategy or do you slap them onto some type of lender? Hey, go talk to a lender. Text me back. When agents do that, my team, it infuriates me. Oh, go talk to I'm waiting for them to talk to the lender. Hello, like that's not the framework we talked about. Passing a text message along. Why don't they just pick the house for you too? And then why don't you just get the key out of the lockbox and collect 3 points? Come on. A strategy for pre-approval, for funding. It's an important component to home buying. And then a follow-up strategy. Buyers don't want to do all the work. They want someone to help. Okay. And the follow-up strategy is not, I'm checking in to see if you found a house yet. So we're going to go through the secret to winning buyers so that they become clients for life, so that you don't refer to them as past clients because you know deep down they'll never talk to you again. This is different from that. Okay. Secret to winning every buyer. Public webinar, links down below. Get in the game, as they used to say on EA. They probably still say that. I just haven't seen a video game in a long time. 3:30 today is the game. Realtor.com, they put out a report kind of identifying what the game looks like for consumers right now. How are visitors to their site? It's the second most powerful search engine based on top line numbers. Really powerful, by the way, on quality of lead flow. Been so impressed with what they've been doing over the last 24 months in particular. But Realtor.com surveyed their customers, the visitors to their site, about how they're feeling about this economy and where they're at on recession talk. Okay. I touched on this a little bit in yesterday's Real Word podcast. That's up here on the YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, I brought it up only to make a bigger point with what I see as a huge opportunity that agents are missing. So totally different discussion, but that's over on the Real Word podcast here on the channel. But I want to go a little bit deeper here. Consumer insights are important. Everybody's looking at them. Okay. Big CEOs. Target came out today and they said, we're not making as much money and we don't project to be making as much money in the future. Why? Here's what we think about customers. Big CEOs, Fortune 500 companies, they're thinking about what customers are thinking about because they're saying, do I need all this staffing? Do I need all this inventory? Do I need to come up with a creative way to market my products? What should I be doing to create better brand on social? Every CEO is thinking about this right now. All the economists and the analysts are thinking about what's going through the minds of the customer so that I can get prepared for the next 6 to 12 months. The next 90 days is important. Like If you're just waiting for the vacations to start, in the next 90 days, the business is going to happen with or without you. Like, people are doing business, people are transacting. Is it less than 21? You better believe it. It's more competitive. That means if there's less opportunity, it's more competitive. So in the first quarter, this is what realtor.com says, in quarter one of 2025. And by the way, we'll put this right into, should be there already. We'll put this into the hot sheet classroom for you. So members, you'll know where to find this. You just go to your classroom tab, jump into the hot sheet, click on today, and you'll have access to all the charts as you always do each and every single day. BAMX members get access to everything I share here. Concerns of recession. Quarter one, 63.4%. That's the highest level since 22, when rates started to skyrocket due to the Fed's late reaction to fight inflation. Okay. Now 22, this was the talk, right? Are we heading towards a recession? Rates are going up. Is that where we're going? And it didn't happen. And then 23, we were talking about, is Jerome Powell and the Fed pulling off a soft landing? Think about this. We've been in 3 years now of the Fed really kind of getting up to or at a restrictive policy. That's a long time. Okay. And so it's not the first time that we've seen realistic fear of a recession. Now, we haven't had one since 22. We had one quarter this year, GDP, quarter one growth down. Now, you're hearing, even if you get 2 quarters GDP growth down with where employment is at, they might not call it a recession. Used to historically be 2 GDP quarters down. We'll see where that goes. We'll see if quarter one gets revised. But the fears, the way our consumers are feeling, your customers, you get a new buyer lead today in the afternoon. Hopefully you didn't eat lunch when you get that buyer lead, but you get this new customer, you have a conversation, and they're going to be saying, hey, I'm thinking about this, but I'm unsure. I'm uncertain. I want to already know before that call comes in how the majority of people are thinking. 6.5 out of 10 are thinking, boy, I'm pretty fearful of a recession. Nearly 30% of home buyers right now said a recession would make them more likely to buy. This one is so interesting to me. If rates come down, would you be more likely to buy? Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what I'm waiting for, rates to come down. Okay. If a recession were to take place and, we have kind of an economic disruption and that pulls prices down, 4 out of the last 6 recessions, by the way, prices went up, but let's just say prices went down in a recession. Maybe this one was different than what you typically see outside of a mortgage crisis that we've never seen. Let's say a recession takes place. Would you be more likely to buy then? Yeah, I'd be more likely to buy. 30% said they'd be more likely to buy. Well, rates usually go down in a recession. So if rates go down, do you believe more people would be more likely to buy? Would more buyers be more likely to jump off the sideline, have more certainty in the home searching process and the offer process if rates were down? Yeah, they would. Okay. So with that being said, do you think you've got less competition today or more competition today? Just based on that track record, right? We dropped this. I'll share this with you. This is usually only for members only. We created a social template last week. So this is in your, from BAMX members, this is in your new this week. Every week there's new content that's editable for you. And the reasons why Barbara Corcoran said it's the best time to buy. This is a Carousel post. Listen, one of the reasons we talked about it here. One of the reasons she believes it's the best time to buy is because people are uncertain. They can't make decisions. Realtor.com's their report here about these recession fears speaks to the indecisiveness of our customers. They don't know which way this economy is going. If they knew which way it was going and or there were lower rates, more people, more confidence, more buyers, more competition. And where's the inventory? Okay. Inventory is going up, but is there going to be enough to meet the demand? We saw a hot demand market in 21. Did it seem like there was enough inventory for all the demand? Or did it seem like if you wanted to win, you had to stretch the boundaries on price? Here's what else is affecting some of the buyer decisions, okay? In court, this is interesting because you got Sunbelt states, inventories going up. But in quarter one, 45% of home buyers reported being unable to find a home that met their needs. Remember, over 50% of home buyers want their agent to actually find a home for them. I can look on Zillow all day and not find something that fits my needs. The challenge is finding a home that I'm willing to write on. Just because there's a lockbox on the door doesn't mean I want to buy it. And it doesn't mean we did our job if we pull a key out of the box. The job is finding a home that meets the needs. 45% are saying, hey, I'd buy, but I can't find. Okay. I get it. There's a mixture in there, unrealistic on price, on quality, on finishes. You always are going to get some of that. Well, a great professional can overcome that stuff at times with education. For sale activity is still 16% below the levels from 17 to 19. Now, we're talking about the inventory increases. We're still, according to RDC, Realtor.com, 16.3% below typical levels seen from 17 to 19. 36% of surveyed home buyers identified budget constraints. So you've got 36 people, 36% of people, 36 out of 100. This is a big chunk of the competition. You got 36 out of 100 would-be buyers who have basically said, I'll be back in the game when rates get to 6%. You want to wait for rates too? Me and 35 of my friends will be competing with you when rates come down. Another way to explain this to buyers who've got the financial ability to buy, but they watch too much CNN or Fox News and they're scared to death about what might happen. Yet there's somebody who's got the financial ability, stable job. They're going to be in the house for 10 years, but they're letting mainstream media scare them into a corner. My 4-year-old, when she gets mad and she doesn't want to talk to anybody, she goes over to the corner and she stands in the corner. Okay. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, these mainstream media outlets are getting people so wound up over what could possibly something that they're fearful and they're inactive. They're not taking the next step forward because they're misinformed. I unsubscribed from the Wall Street Journal. I mean, you want to get depressed, go through Wall Street Journal a little bit. It's gotten crazy. Okay. Fox News, CNN, they're all the same. So once people have that confidence back, the competition goes up, not down. 36 out of 100 surveyed home buyers, they've got budget constraints. When they go away at 6% or less at some point in the future, not today, we saw the 7% hit again yesterday. When they go away, there's going to be more buyers, not less. Okay. So Realtor.com shows us what we've been seeing now from multiple sources. We've got customers who have concerns. They're getting these concerns from a variety of fear drivers on the internet and on cable news. Your job, real estate professional, to help them understand the opportunities. There's opportunities in every market. One of the opportunities, unfortunately for investors and buyers, is not foreclosures. Despite what you're going to see if you go to X, foreclosure activity is up. All right, foreclosure activity jumped 16.1% year over year. Fear-driven headline, because we're going to break it down. 16.1% foreclosures are up. Foreclosure starts rose 0.8% from the previous month. Okay, this is hard data. This is real data. This isn't fake news. It's just not relevant news. Okay, this is the April report. U.S. housing market saw a continued annual increase foreclosure activity. It's continuing to go up. There's 36,000 properties with foreclosure filings. Here you go. Here are the states that they highlight. South Carolina is number one. You got 1 in every 2,311 housing units that has filed foreclosure. Okay. South Carolina is 1 out of 2,300. Not a lot, by the way. We'll break down how little this is in a second, but South Carolina is 1. Illinois is 1 in every 2,400. That's 2. Florida's 3. Surprised Texas isn't on the list with the high inventory, but Florida, not surprising. High inventory. You see more of this. 4 is Delaware. 5, you've got Nevada. 1 in 2,900. 6, Ohio. 7, Indiana. 8, Alabama. Connecticut at 9, and Louisiana at 10. Okay, so those are your top 10 on this foreclosure activity report. Here are the filings. Okay, you go down to the bottom. I gave you the number, 36,000 total filings. I pulled the report from 2010 Realty Track. So this is January 14th, 2010. December foreclosure actions marked the this is going back. Come back with me. Those of us that remember, let's go back in time. 15 years, 15 plus years. December foreclosure actions mark the 10th straight month of over 300,000 notices. Only 10x more than we're dealing with right now in a given month. And the yearly total was 3.9 million foreclosure filings. We're going to be like in the 300,000s for that number. 3.9 million in 2010. I mean, the difference in this market and that one are striking. Okay. Here's the reality. Foreclosures and new bankruptcy levels are still below pre-pandemic levels. Pre-pandemic. Go back the last 20 years if you wanted to, and you're not going to see a lower time point other than 2020 when you weren't allowed to do a foreclosure, basically. But outside of that government intervention, you're not going to find a lower time period for foreclosures. And when you include new bankruptcies, because that's an indicator for foreclosures, you're not going to see it there either. That's all that needs to be said when you see these top line numbers, 16% up. The annual increase jumps off the page, whatever. Doesn't mean anything. Okay. If we go outside the top 10, just for some reference here, you do have Texas. I was surprised they were in the top 10. They're 11. Okay. The change from March for Texas actually went down. Nevada went down. Connecticut went down. So seeing month over month improvements there. You got Iowa, Georgia, New Jersey, Utah. That's your top 15. Maryland, Alaska, California, Michigan, Oklahoma, your top 20. States doing the least amount of foreclosures. I'll give you the 10 with the least amount. in order here, in order of least to going backwards: South Dakota, Vermont, Montana, Kansas, Wisconsin, Mississippi, Hawaii, Rhode Island, Nebraska, West Virginia, New Hampshire. All right. Didn't mention your state. You're in the middle. Figure it out. All the data's inside of BAMX for members, so you can pull that and use that in any of your conversations with people who are confused or listening to Uncle Billy too much. Hey, Uncle Billy, I got one. Real good at buying cheap vodka. Not great at breaking down headlines on, what to do with this foreclosure data, this bump up in the last month. People that drink vodka all the time, they're doom and gloom people. They're internet trolls, a lot of them. Your buyers who are listening to their Uncle Billy and driving fear, doubling down on the fear from mainstream media, going to be hard to make a good decision. Okay. Put that data in front of them. It's all available inside of BAMX for members. Mortgage applications. Okay. Decrease 5.1% from the week earlier. And you had refinances decrease. Refinances year over year up 27%. We care about the purchases more because that's the future looking. If we're looking into the summer months, are we going to have buyers kind of fall off the map here? Are we going to still have buyers? What's the deal? Purchase index did decrease 5% from a week earlier. We hit the highest point in 30-year fixed rate that we've seen since February. That being said, that 5% drop from 1 week earlier is 13% higher than the same week a year ago. Chief economist from Mortgage Banker Association states this: mortgage rates jumped to the highest level since February last week, with investors concerned about rising inflation and the increasing deficits and debt. The impact of increasing deficits and debt. Listen, why is the 10-year going up right now? What are they talking about a lot? I mean, obviously the trade war was leading up to the last, these last few months, or the last month rather, leading into a lot of this stuff. What have they been talking about lately? They got to get a budget done. What can't they figure out? They can't figure out how to, they meaning both sides of the aisle, this government, the federal government cannot figure out how to spend less money. And so because of that, our deficit, been saying this forever, our deficit is making an investment from outside less attractive. You want more money, America? I want a higher interest rate. There's less people that want to carry the debt, less investors, unless I get a higher rate. We're up over 4.5. Okay, when there's a flock to safety, we're not as safe with this deficit. You can see this number go down. Not the case right now. We're at the highest level in 3 months on the 10-year. Today, right now, highest level, 3 months, 10-year, up over 4.5. You're going to hover around 7, as long as the spreads stay relatively close to where they're at. We saw this yesterday on the 30-year fixed. It hit 7% yesterday, went up over 7. Second reading, just like the day prior, ended at 6.99. It's like they want to end the day at 6.9. Keep us feeling good, okay? You're not paying 7. You're paying 6.99. That's better. It's emotionally less triggering than saying I got 7. I'm in at 6.99. People hear the 6. 6.99, better than 7. But we're at a 7. That's where we're at. A lot of it has to do with the deficit. Listen, we're just talking basic math here, guys. Don't get triggered by math. If you don't want to cut any of the programs, I'm not talking, Medicare and all that. I'm just saying some of these social programs, or if at least get them down to 2019 levels of spending, they've all been inflated since COVID, since 2020. If you're not for cutting a whole bunch of this stuff out of the federal government, then your for higher rate. That's just kind of where you're at. It's basic math. This has nothing to do with politics. You take out the old calculator and it's like, okay, can we get, 3% on GDP? We went negative in Q1 because we took all that government hiring out, the stimulus of government hiring. Can we get 3% growth? Can we get 3% of, a deficit to GDP? Like, we're way out of whack. And so we're nowhere close to these numbers. The deficit's a big concern. And because they're focused on the budget, they don't have a budget. I don't see a 10-year moving down anytime soon outside of some type of labor situation. All right, webinar today, 3:30. Chris Benjamin, one of the best in the business at presentations. And if you want to have a framework and a plan to go in the buy side to separate your value, to hold value at a higher level, then this is one you want to check out. It's open to the public. It's 3:30, 12:30 on the West Coast. I'll be a part of it. Chris is fantastic. I'll be a small part of it, trying to help where I can. 3:30 Eastern time today. Link down below. I'll see you over there. Until then, toodaloo.